Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. It is August, a month I really adore here in my home and studio because the sunlight is just perfect in and around my art space. August has also become a pretty special month for me. This time 2 years ago was when I met my now fiancé. It's crazy to reflect on the past 2 years and think about how much has changed. We're actually getting ready right now for our wedding in Italy in just a few weeks. I am so excited, and it feels like there's still lots to be done, but maybe that's just how all weddings feel, like there's all these little details that could just go on and on. Anyway, one of the things I need to do is what I'll be dedicating today to, which is folding and organizing all these newly printed greeting cards. All of my cards are printed locally, and I pick up, fill, pack, and ship all orders myself right here from my little home. It's a process I have honed down to my own little science over the years and have gotten so much fulfillment from taking my paintings and sending them out into the world. To me, it is one of the most fulfilling feelings to have created something with my heart and my hands and to send it out into the world to be enjoyed by others. Over the years, as I've worked independently here in my small studio, tending to all the necessary tasks required to run a small business, I have often found myself so grateful. I love my space, my rhythms, my mornings like the morning I had this morning, where I feel a sense of pride and ownership over my life and business and how I choose to spend my days, and therefore my life. There's a very special sense of gratification that comes from living creatively, too, and I feel grateful to feel that, at least on most days. But I also know that days of this exact season are coming to an end, or at least changing greatly. I have recently been reflecting on the mixed sense of anticipation that comes with merging one's life with another. Some time ago, I shared some thoughts on Instagram about how I was both grieving and celebrating at the exact same time in regards to being in a relationship. I wasn't even engaged at that point. I was simply observing that as I sat in the home of my partner, thinking about how one day it would be my home, I felt an almost anticipatory mourning for my current single life, as well as a huge excitement for my totally new future. And I got so many responses on that post from people relating to that feeling. Soon-to-be mothers thinking about what that change meant for them and their relationship with their husbands, other newlyweds who also chose partnership that costed whatever their current life looked like. It's a feeling we don't really talk about. Perhaps grief is too strong a word, as nothing is really dying, just taking on a new shape. But maybe mourning is fair and accurate. A felt sadness for some version of something we have to put down, even though we want to put it down so that we can welcome holding something else, because that something else brings us the most joy. Maybe some of us are more sensitive to it than others. I have my whole life been very independent by nature. I both crave and need solitude. I enjoy creating my own schedules and routines, and I've structured a lot of my life thus far around being creative and monetizing my creative pursuits. I feel in the season before that, for most of my 20s, I spent kind of finding myself and gathering the inspiration and creative voice that has today become what others see as my business. It was easier and more desirable then to be nomadic and totally free. But of course, that season too found its natural end, and if it would not have, I would never have put down the roots to grow what I've grown in this last season in my 30s. When I look back and frame my life in terms of seasons like this, I see that there is a time for both rooting into and letting go of all the past versions of myself I have been, and I have to trust that this season is no different. Trading some independence for interdependence has been a real gift for me, and I have really found it to be true that there are certain kinds of growth that can only be achieved in the trial of relationship. Saying a sort of goodbye to one version of ourselves inevitably means saying hello to another, and though it can feel scary, I think it's nothing less than part of the creative process of life. It's funny, in the process of making this video, I was going through my notes app on my phone and I found a poem I had written just a few weeks after meeting my now fiancé, and I thought I'd share it here. At the time I wrote it, it seems I was processing our budding connection as potentially moving us both into a new season together, even though we had actually both just gone through breakups not too long before we met. I remind myself now that fittingly, I once thought to call it a gift.